Hello and welcome to another video from Natasha Lee. And this week I am ready for Christmas. I love Christmas. I get so excited about Christmas. I've been planning it for months. I get so excited. I'm such a big kid. So this week I am going to be covering a trend that comes out every year and it's always really popular. But I'm going to show you different ways to do it with gel polish, nail polish, the easiest and quickest ways for you to do it. I'm going to cover it all. And that is the Christmas jumper trend, or the jumper trend, or the wool, or the knitted nails, whatever you want to call them. I am going to be showing you all about them this week. And this week, because I'm covering Christmas jumper nails, it only seemed right that I covered Christmas jumpers. So, I am wearing a really, really special Christmas jumper for you. Wait till you see this, just prepare yourself. As soon as I saw this, I knew I had to have it. So I need to say a big thank you to boohoo.com who actually sent me the jumper. They gave me a choice of jumpers to raise awareness for Save the Children, which they've released 4 new jumpers this year, and for the sale of each of those jumpers they will give £5 to Save the Children. So I picked this one. It was really close, I'm going to be honest. There's a unicorn jumper that I was like, I need that, but then like, I love this movie, and I don't want to say what movie it is because I want you guys to comment down below. What movie do you think it is that this reminds you of? So this year, Save the Children Christmas Jumper Day is on the 14th of December. So make sure you get you and your friends to support Save the Children. Wear your ugly Christmas jumpers. Oh, they're kind of, I feel a bit like I want to stick up for this Christmas jumper. Okay, it's not chic and it's not stylish per se, but is it really ugly? Or are we just looking at mildly offensive? Also, a big shout out for me not using my products, how they're supposed to be used, and putting Crimson Rose on my lips. And enough of me, time to get on with the tutorial. This week, Janet is helping me, and this is good Janet, not bad Janet, just to reassure you. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, this is Janet, my silicone hand, which I actually got from Red Iguana, and the link where to buy this is in the description down below. Now, I've got false nails on this, but as we would do if this were natural nails, I am cleansing the nails with 99% isopropyl alcohol, allowing that to dry, and then I'm going in with my base coat. Now, I'm using a peel-off base coat because that way I can remove this design from the nails afterwards and be able to reuse them to minimise my plastic waste. However, if you're doing this on your own nails, use your preferred base coat or the one for your system. Now I'm doing the first 2 nails using gel polish with 2 different methods to show you how to do it. And this is Frou Frou Blue from Gel 2. I do absolutely love this colour. I'm just getting a nice even layer on that nail and trying to get it nice and even around the cuticle area. And I'm doing the index and middle finger. If you do make any mistakes, don't worry, just clean them up with your clean-up brush dipped in nail polish remover or acetone. Cure that first layer before going in with your second layer, and links to all of the products used, including my own brand Divine by Natasha Lee, are in the description down below. Get that second layer in nicely before you cure, and then go in with your top coat. Now this is a no cleanse top coat, I just do prefer them generally, and the ones that are coming out now are almost as equally hard wearing as the regular top coats we used to have, where you had to remove the sticky inhibition layer. This one is the Premier Gel High Shine Top Coat, and once you've cured that, I'm going in with Essie's Matte About You. Now that's purely just for the fact that I don't have a matte gel polish yet, but I do love this one, and thank you to Christine from Simply Nailogical who tested them all, so I didn't have to. Right, once that's dry, I'm going to apply some of my gel polish to my plastic back pad, and then taking NL Brush 2, which is a fine striper, I'm just going to saturate the brush and then go down one side of the nail. Now I'm doing the lines first because we can use these as a guide for the rest of the design. Now obviously these nails are very long, but it gives you a good idea of how to do it. And we're going to do that on each side, but do not cure, we want to keep that gel polish wet. Because we want this to be a 3D design, it's probably best to go over it 1 or 2 times, even 3 if need be, to make sure you get that raised gel polish on the nail. And you can see I'm just pulling it over. On the first one I push the brush against the nail to get it flat and then use the tip. Now I'm going in with NL1 from my own brush range of Divine by Natasha Lee, and this is my fine detailer. Now first I'm applying these little diagonal strokes down the nail, and I'm doing that equidistant apart, so that I can use them as a guide, and then I'm going to go in and almost do them like a wiggly, swirly line, sort of like a loose backward S. There's so many different versions you can do with this. You can do it more angled, you can do it closer together, you can do them thicker. There's so many choices. I just decided to do it this way so that you can see really clearly the effect it has on the nail, and a nice easy way of doing it. It almost reminds me a little bit like a pipe for a snowman. So I'm making one end a little bit thicker and just brushing it along before I go along that diagonal line and do this little curly tail at the bottom. We're going to do that on all 5 of my little dashes. Now if you want, you can put these closer together, but like I said, I wanted to just show you them spaced apart so you can get a good idea how to do this. Also, you don't want to go too close to each other, because if one bleeds into the other, you'll lose your definition because they sort of spread into one another. If need be, go back in and add a little bit more polish, and I'm doing this just to make it a bit more 3D, but you could have it flatter if you want, and if you want it flatter, don't add as much gel polish. Again, you want to keep this uncured because we're going to be sprinkling some bits and pieces on this now. And then I'm doing my design down the side, and I'm just doing like a scalloped design. Now all of this is uncured. Depending what your gel polish is like, you may need to do this in stages, but this one doesn't spread, so we're good. Now, I said that, but I touched one bit against another, so I just used my cuticle hoof stick to just separate them up a little bit because it's got a really fine edge on it. Just because I want to keep that definition, but I like to try and keep in my mistakes, my errors, and my fixing, so you can see how you can fix yours if you make a mistake, rather than just start all over again. And you can see I'm being really finicky here. I just wanted to make sure I got that line nice and even. And once you're happy with that, I'm going to get my crystal scoop stick. And this is acrylic powder. Now you could use any acrylic powder you want. I just like to use Prohesion from Nail Harmony as my regular L&P or acrylic. So that's what I have in my cupboards. And we're just sprinkling that straight over the nail. Now I've used one of my triangle trays underneath to catch that acrylic powder. So when we're finished, we can tap it back into the pot and none of it is wasted. And once you're happy, just tap the nail to remove that excess. And we can put that back in the pot whilst we cure that nail. Brushing the excess down and make sure you don't waste any. And now that nail is cured, I'm going to go in with my fan brush and brush off any of the excess acrylic powder. And you can see it gives you this fantastic sort of textured woolen matte effect. It is brilliant. So that is using gel polish and acrylic powder. Now the next method I'm doing is gel polish and ultra fine glitter powder. Exactly the same again, but this time I'm using Unicorn Essence from my range Divine by Natasha Lee. And just getting my scoop stick and a triangle tray underneath to catch the excess, I'm just popping it over that whole nail. And when you're happy you've covered everywhere, just tap the nail again, and this helps it to go on all the uncured gel polish. Don't worry if it looks messy at the moment. Pop it into cure, and whilst you're doing that, put all the excess glitter back into your glitter pot so none is wasted. When that's cured, brush over with your fan brush, and you can see how amazing this looks. This is my favourite, I'll be honest, this version. It looks so gorgeous. It's like a sparkly winter knitted jumper. How lovely is that? And the finer the glitter you use, the better. Now the next 2 nails, I'm going to be doing it with nail polish, and this is an Orly breathable nail polish that I've been sent, and I've actually finally tried it out. I've had it for a few months and not had a go of it, but the coverage is amazing. I am in love with this polish. I do have a few more colours. If you want to see what colours I have, then check them out on my Instagram, which is Natasha Lee Blogger. If you do get any down the sides, don't worry, just use your NL3 cleanup brush and remove it with some nail polish remover or acetone. And when that first layer of polish is dry, go in with your second layer. You can see it gives you enough time to play with it here, so you can apply it nice and carefully without it starting to set, which is a surprise, especially as I'm under my studio lights. Now I'm doing this to the ring finger and the little finger or the pinky, so you get to see the difference. Get that nice even coverage and then allow to dry before you go in with your preferred top coat. Now in case you're all wondering, why do I apply a regular top coat on both the nail polish and the gel polish before I apply the matte? And that's generally because the matte top coat in nail polish, I don't know about the gel polish, but in nail polish, it's not as hard wearing. So if you apply your normal top coat and then the matte over the top, the matte is like an effect, but it doesn't offer any security for the polish underneath. This way I find it makes your designs last a lot longer and a lot better. When that regular glossy top coat is dry, go in with your matte top coat and apply it over the whole nail. You do tend to have to work a little bit quicker with this one and apply it a bit more generously. Before I'm then going to go in, now this we're going to have to do a little bit differently to the gel polish because obviously nail polish dries quite quickly. So first I'm going in with my 2 lines and then I am going to be applying my glitter powder onto these lines. And I'm trying it with a brush this time, and this is with the NL4 glitter application brush. And then just tap that nail to remove the excess with the triangle tray underneath, and then I'm going straight in as well, and I'm doing those little lines down the nail. Now we will have to work a little bit quicker doing this with nail polish rather than gel polish. But in essence we're doing exactly the same design as before. I'm going to apply each of these down the nail and then go over the top of them again before we apply our glitter. However, if you're not too confident yet in getting your speed up, just do 1 or 2 at a time, apply your glitter and do it that way. It will take a little bit longer, so if you don't have too much time, maybe just do 1 or 2 feature nails. And then once I've done all 5 of them, I'm going straight over the top and applying a quick bit of wet polish. And this is to make sure we have something for that glitter to adhere to. And I'm just showing you this in real time here so you've got an idea of how quickly I worked. Now just to say, my nail polish is setting rather quickly at the moment because although it's very cold here, we have got our heating on full because it's so cold. Again, we're just going to sprinkle on that unicorn essence over the whole nail. Be careful not to knock the wet polish with the brush or your finger. I've done that, you'll see in a moment. And then I'm going to tap the finger and that helps to remove the excess. Before I go and do the scallop designs down the side. So you can see doing it in nail polish, it's best to do it in 3 stages, but look at that blob of nail polish. What's the odds? What are the odds? So I was like, what am I going to do with this? I will deal with the scallops first and I'll deal with that blob with some needlepoint tweezers. And I made a mess of it. So I was like, I'm going to deal with that in a second. I can't afford for this to set. And like I said, I want to show you mistakes so you know it's not always perfect and there's ways you can redeem your mistakes. And with that, I'm going to be using my silicone tools to do it. And that's because they just are firm enough that it won't damage the wet polish, but it means I can just manipulate it a little bit more so it's not really obvious about the mistake. And I'm just using the pointed end of it and my finger just to soften that look a little bit. And you can see it's sort of worked there. Apply a bit more glitter because glitter fixes everything. Tap the nail and then we're going to leave it to dry. And once it's dry, I'm going to brush over with my fan brush to remove the excess glitter. And you can see how well that still works. Ignore the dimples from where I made a mistake, but how good does that look? Now again with nail polish, but this time I'm going to show you with the acrylic powder. And if you don't have acrylic powder, there's lots of sort of like fuzz. This sounds really weird, but you can buy this fluff for nails. It's like a fuzz. I don't even know what it's called. Nail fuzz, nail velvet. And you can sprinkle that on as well. So that will give you a similar effect. It's a little bit more coarse than using the glitter or the acrylic powder, but it would also give you that matte textured effect. So again, I've just done the 2 lines and then I'm sprinkling on my acrylic powder. It's very therapeutic, this, you know. Tap the nail, and here, because it had stuck to the nail a bit, I did just get my fan brush to sort of take off the excess so I can go and do the centre bit. Just lightly go down the middle there before we go in and do our little lines, exactly the same as we did with the glitter nail polish nail. Add a little bit extra after you've applied them all, and then bring in your triangle tray. These things are invaluable. I do have them on my website, divinebynatashalee.com, if you want to find them. And then I'm going to sprinkle the acrylic powder over the top nice and quickly. And what it does is it sticks and soaks in to the wet nail polish. When you're sure you've covered it all, we're going to give the nail a tap to remove the excess. And then you're going to leave it to dry. So don't worry if you can still see acrylic powder on there, because once it's dry, we're going to be able to remove it all off the nail. However, what I am doing here is I'm going to just remove it from the side so I can do that little bit of scalloping. And we're doing the same design on every single nail. Add the acrylic powder. And then we're going to tap that nail again. Once it's all set, brush off the excess acrylic powder and you have your nail polish sweater nails. Don't these look fabulous? It's such a simple and effective way to achieve it. And I did want to show you guys how to do it with both nail polish and gel polish, so everybody gets to have a go. Let me know which look is your favourite. Is it the acrylic powder? Or is it the glitter powder? It's the glitter powder for me. I love the glitter powder. And even with the nail polish, okay, it looks a little bit different to the gel polish, but it's still really effective. I absolutely love these. Let me know if you're going to give it a go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know your comments down below and if you're going to give this a go. And what do you prefer to see tutorials in? Gel polish or nail polish? Because obviously, as a professional, I love gel polish. I love it so much because it takes all the beautifulness of nail polish and removes all the icky stuff like waiting to dry and making mistakes and going to bed and leaving marks on your nails. But I know not everyone can buy gel polish, so let me know, what would you rather see? Nail polish tutorials or gel polish tutorials, or do you not really mind because you use the art techniques on either anyway? I'd love to hear from you. A huge shout out to my VIPs. Thank you very much, you guys, for supporting me and being part of the Natasha Lee VIP family. And if you want to know more, then head on over to natashalee.vip, where you can sign up for different tiers and rewards and become part of our special little group. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed, but you liked what you've seen, or you're into nails or nail art, then please hit that subscribe button, and next to it is a teeny tiny little bell icon. If you hit that, it will sometimes notify you when I upload, ideally every time, but you know, surprise! Let me know what your plans are for Christmas and whether or not you celebrate Christmas, because I know not everyone does. Now, I do, but I'm very keen to not create the commercialised angle for the kids. So I am super strict on my Christmas budget. I do tend to shock quite a lot of people when I tell them how small my Christmas budget is for each of the children, but that's because I want to give them gifts that mean something and means that they appreciate stuff when they get it, and I just don't want to lose what Christmas is to me, which to me, Christmas is actually about taking a step back and having time with the family, really special time, making memories, sort of giving an experience that's so magical that because so many people do celebrate Christmas, it's sort of like jobs are closed for Christmas Day and Boxing Day, which they aren't for other national holidays necessarily. So it means it's almost like forced time off together as a family, which I absolutely love. And so I make such a big deal because for me, as a kid growing up, my biggest and best memories are the actual memories, not the presents, because the presents go away and I don't still have the stuff that I got for Christmas when I was like 9 and 10, but I still have the memories. So let me know what makes Christmas special for you guys, because for me, it's creating a magical grotto of a home that transforms everything and seeing the kids so excited at the magic of Christmas and having really wonderful quality time with my husband and my children, and I just love that, watching cheesy Christmas movies and all chilling out together, and it just Christmas twinkling lights, it's amazing. I love it. I am such a Christmas geek. And to finish off the video, I'd like to say thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon.